These class series are a little behind because it takes me about a full day to upload. And if for some reason the upload doesn't work, then that sets me behind a day. Anyway, let's see, Class 108B, I thought I would make mention. Snippets via the montage video. I turned it into snippets. I thought I'd make an extended 108, but then it had too many gigabytes. So I split them into two parts, A and B. When we talk about our abs away, I recognize there's an ABS. Think of it this way. A is to be as you are, okay? As the ass, as the BS, okay? And I looked up dingus. It's kind of ironic that I don't know what that word means. And in reviewing the last class video, I spoke of Vesica piscis. But I didn't provide the definition, so here it is. Well, I said it was a fish bladder, but you can see for yourself. Another term for mandorla. I pulled some video stills for another iteration. Depressing, DP, the displaced person, dew point, a double play. Could also be DEP, depressing, okay. The tin and the sin, and SINE, that is a curve. In the example, with the document signer, DS, separate. SEP, that's separate. So this is interesting. I say it's a curve, but it's talking about, well, it's talking about geometry, you know, like a straight line. In origin, it's a curve with your sinus, okay? The pocket sign. I would imagine your cosine as well. Cosine in machining is a valuable measurement. I say valuable in terms of finding the measurement, okay? to create to lift the 2D product into a 3D dimension, reality, manifestation. Took some notes from the news lately. Whoopsie. This is what I'm working on. I sent this today. I'm still waiting for samples. Apparently, you can order samples of new felt. And I chose Woodhaven and Dublin as the color. we've got a storm on the way, Michael. I ordered it September 6th. I've called them back once. So I sent an email today asking, was it sent? And can you let me know when I can expect it? The reason I want the new felt, you can see the, this is Charmeuse silk, and over there is the Shantung silk that I got when I was in New York. And I got a gold, a silver, and a wheat color. The gold is, for me, is defined rich gold, and rich gold, I have that terminology from when I was a faux finisher. Okay, that would be that type of gold. It'd be called rich gold among the faux finishers. So I would say, you know, there's also red over there. This is lifting from a dream that I had of the sand. Okay, so they're sand colors. They're not very pretty unless you value the beauty of the desert. Okay. And the red was to use as a divider of the money. Okay, so if I make different sizes or shapes or different laser cut embellishments, the red would be the divider. And the felt I wanted to get, because I wanted a laser cut design on that to be the holder for your money, for your silk me one eye. Okay, to actually use it. So I was trying to come up with usable follow through. You know, it's silk. You want to keep it nice? I want to keep it nice. I'd like to provide for you to keep it nice. Okay. So I started with the desert colors. Totally not opposed to using more rich jewel tones, or, you know, any color, you know, but I thought that's where I would start. Let's look at more dingus. Let me check that again. I totally forgot. Used to refer to something whose name the speaker cannot remember, is unsure of, or is humorously or euphemistically omitting. The mystic ally. I don't know. Do you want me to know? All right, let's see. So let's see. I'm tying up loose ends where this needs to go, because I have a feeling things are going to get nasty in the next couple of months, going into another voting opportunity. I would say the elections, but I don't really know. I've never voted, and I'm way okay with that. I've never voted. I vote for me every ding dong day, okay? With no reception even, all right? So, but I have a feeling things are gonna get nasty. So, it might really be advantageous to notice. Again, I like to use the capital L, so you don't confuse it with a capital I. Sometimes I do that, L over L, you know. I put that apostrophe there so that it's like and, but rather than the date, put a apostrophe. You know, when you speak casually, informally, hey, like that, and that, and that. Also, so that you can see this is what it is, you know. Lance and dance. Dance the common era. Be all, okay? Balance, okay? Balance, seed, at, or see that ye add, okay? With things potentially getting nasty, why are they getting nasty? Because you're pushing back, okay? Roe v. Wade, you didn't love EID as women. The men didn't have a choice but to lay down their life, okay? So now you're like dancing on the graves like, well, I choose to abort my baby. So it's kind of a double ass poker, Red, okay? Lay down your lives because you're not really providing protection nor wanting valuable protection and follow through. And then you keep speaking to the night for the money, okay? Not for love. And then the men don't have a choice but to lay down their life for you to ask, are you screwer red? And doer red? Redude? And then you want government of where you made people lay down their life for a feud, dude, and redude, and dud, thiefin. You want a choice. You want funded government approval and support to abort a child for sex that you don't love, okay? Okay, so I'm seeing it from the men's point of view, okay, and where that may be stereotypically Republican, as best as I can tell. Again, I've never voted, okay, but I think these are some of the issues, okay, and some of the positions, okay. So you're pulling the shit on, but you're not the love. Okay, you're demanding humanitarian rights, but you're dancing on the fucking grave of a handout that you're asking for to get rich by a handout, doubt. Okay, so yeah, so because you're pushing back. Okay, let's talk about pushing back. I'm pretty excited, actually. I've started to walk on the treadmill. It's not long, it's not much. I do about 10, 12, maybe 15 minutes because I get bored on a treadmill. But it's good in the sense that I'm already feeling my glutes, which is like bonus, okay? It's informing me what I'm doing. It's giving me feedback. I have feedback. I can feel my muscles. I'm using them. That's good work. Okay. I also find that it's my bunion surgery was November of last year. So, and that was 2 months in a cast. It's not been a whole year out of a cast, and it's not holistically comfortable to do a lot of walking. It actually hurts my arch of all things. It doesn't hurt where the surgery was on this side and this side because I had a twofer. I had 2 bunions, and then the screw in the middle of my foot because my tendons were splaying and causing me to roll. So big bunion rolled over to the side and made the little bunion, and it hurts in the arch. It hurts here, and what I find is I'm discovering my own modality to walk because I don't actually like walking with pain, and I certainly don't like being immobile. So when I'm on the treadmill, I hold the bars and then I I make an incline, and then I push with my legs. I get down low so I could kind of create resistance and push back. And for some reason, I think that stretches the toe, and I think it's helping the pressure on the arch, because if I do that a little bit and actually just go through the motion, then I'll start walking again and I won't feel the pain. Then I start practicing going backwards. So I walk backwards for a couple reasons. It's also great for developing your buttocks, your butt muscles, a little shelf. But for me, it helps the tracking of my patella. Okay, so women have a Q angle with your hips, and as your legs drop from the Q angle, the quad, I think femur, is that femur? I think it is femur. It's been a while since I've had human anatomy. Anyway, so you've got the ox coxae, hip girdle, and your legs drop at a Q angle. They come in, where the men's go straight out of the hip socket, okay? And I have a little trouble with strength in the tracking of my patella. And I know that because when I ran in college, I had a slight case of chondromalacia, which is a wearing away of the bursa sac, and it feels a little like electricity when I would flex. And athletic trainers discovered that my hamstrings are stronger than my quads, so to do straight leg lifts. But I find that walking backwards strengthens the patella tracking. And so I'm on the treadmill. I like to mix it up because I get bored, and be versatile, because I think it's great for dancing around and balance. So now I'm around. You know, how do you turn when something's, I don't mind putting myself in those positions, because if I put myself in those positions, I know how to be in those positions, right? What I use, I know how to use, okay? And it's usable. When I turned around to walk backwards, I found that my arch hurt again, and it actually hurt a lot, so I had to support my weight. And I'm like, oh, this is so not comfortable. But what I find is actually doing a kind of a slight jog, again, kind of the same pounding and getting on that toe, actually is much more comfortable. Is there a meta here for you? It's the push back. That's the modality, okay? The push back and really extending, okay, and follow through, then makes my walk more comfortable. The problem with pushing back is then they're going to push back, okay? You have no resolution. And I don't have resolution either, okay? I only have one hand, okay, that apparently wants to. There may be other possibilities, okay? But they have not presented themselves, okay? What else? I can fortify my circle and cycle of endeavor, okay? I can stand my ground. Let's see, what other things have I been thinking of? I'll talk briefly. I'm looking forward to this trending towards more positive reception, okay? And I think that you're going to need something along those lines, or that you and others can appreciate investing yourself in something that gives you yourself back. especially if things start to get nasty, and only nasty, okay? Because you have no resolution inherently, okay? He, her, heir. Rent, the same rent, okay? To lay the left hand, okay? He, I, eat. We lay the eat, okay? L-E-A-T, okay? Your love lays the eat at thief end, okay? I was thinking about, so, shoot. People ask me, oh, you know, I haven't seen a movie forever. You know, Duncan, when I was in the art room on Friday, I'm like, I don't even think about going to a movie anymore, okay? It's harder and harder for me to bridge the gap of you know, when you're watching a movie, you can suspend your belief, you know, for that time frame to make it plausible. I have a hard time even doing that. Okay, so I'm already thinking, fuck, cost me more than my hourly wage. Way more right now, because you could see I have zero income for being a value maker. And but when I was working at Trader Joe's, watching a movie was more than my hourly wage, and I made $250 a week. Okay, and I didn't know that that wage allowed me to have food stamps. Ironically, I just stopped using my car and rented a room. Okay, a room with slanty walls. All right. Because I thought, you have a job, you should be able to make ends meet. All right, I didn't know that I was getting prostituted by the people that are pretending to feed the means. Okay. Anyway, so I just whittled down my overhead. Here's a couple of thoughts. What I want you to see in this, beside the sperm, as you know, in origin, is the witness to the testes. We could even say the testate, okay, your living will. And with your testes and testate, you have the female saint, and you're also testing the teat, okay? SP, starter price, service pack, sine prole, Latin, I'm pretty sure, for without child, without issue. What I want you to see is the era and Sarah, okay? Sarah, if I remember correctly, is way. Provide the era, okay? One of the things that we would be changing through creating this paradigm is of working with even money and this language, and which already has a filter. The work has been done to a large degree, and you know what the platform is about and what it isn't about. And at very least, we don't use a gun instead of reason as desire in life even, okay? I think that's going to alleviate a lot of suspicion, okay, in capital, okay, preference and principle, all right? And I think it's a good balance, okay? And it's ground zero to start building in value. So that bald dance and lance in the common era, what you need to understand is not to wait for anyone, okay? Because it's not going to happen that way. Back to movies. So I watch tarot readings. Why? Besides the fact that sometimes they depress me. Not because of what's being said, but it's just like, well, you have a red hand, and you're giving a red hand. Okay. So in a sense, you're creating a red cycle that you will always have to give a card reading. See a road. Okay. See a red road. I cared. Okay. It's formulaic, okay, and it's predictable. Okay, the options are predictable, and what's in will be out. What goes up goes down, and then it goes around, okay? And you could have your prejudices and your angles and your acumen, -t, but you're still working with the same capacity, all right? To be in reception or to give it, okay? I don't think there's really any honest information exchange here, okay? You're creating an entertaining holding pattern, and it's like, well, which one do I want to watch to see? Go to a movie, or I've got free internet, and I need to do something before I go to sleep. Well, I'm waiting for, you know, my own videos to upload. So one of the reasons I watch them is it kind of creates a false or plausible scenario. I didn't think of it that way. That could happen. Oh, people think like that? I didn't know that, but now I get it. For me as an air sign, you also start to see how people think and take in information. You see angles. It just occurred to me, I'm like, why don't you read a book? It's been years since I read a book. Most books, look, if they're going to tell me something, I might find the flaw in the logic, but I've got art books up there. So I'm kind of like, well, why don't you bone up on art? You know, color theory, okay? Something basic. I was watching Tyler's Tarot, and he had a person on there who I guess gets onto the other side, talks to spirits, and it was about John Benet. And she was describing a situation of, so this is where I got the information, of in a narcissistic scenario, there's the golden child and there's the rebel, okay? And because they have to feed the narcissist if the narcissist is their parent, okay? But the point is that you're still working with 3, all right? And I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm saying that's what stood out for me in just watching, you know? That's what I gathered. It's like 3. You guys playing with red debt and red characters are just carrying on, okay? There's no value to make there, okay? So debt, D-E-T, is detective. You only make red and you only suss red, okay? From your own provision at the hee-haw hand that you care about, red, R-E-D, okay? Oh yes, don't forget. So you keep this histed hyphenated debt going, okay? By the ID of the present prescient client, okay? That he add, thread, re-add, the die I eat to 10, then deny. Denied. Deny red, okay? Two thieves raising their hand with the ag. I it to buy it, okay? What else? Going and doing. I didn't have to put that E in there. It's an option. Nanogram. Ano? That's your anus. Gram and ram. Okay, AM. The ram, of course, is Aries. The first, to lay down the law. All right? That way, you can do less barking. I had another thought. Right hand. I was thinking about the immigrant and migration and what might actually bring a lot of peace is to have people watch this money, me one eye, not me one eye, move around. Okay? So I'm personally trying to keep my balance and start, at the very least, ideating and gestating ways to make this turn. Okay, so I've not thought anything out formally, but you're getting the first blush of my conversation as it's occurring to me. Okay? Essentially, whatever I erect as a platform, what works will stand, and what does not get any interest won't. So if it's a timing issue, that's one thing. If it's a preparation issue, that's another. I'm prepared to do this on my own. And what I mean with that is, you know who my backing is, okay? In theory, it's Rich and Sharon. However, I may be playing all the parts. If you want to get toffed with zero territorial force, okay, you need to come through me, at the very least. Doff. Take off an article of clothing. I suggest your high hat. You know what to say to be your word, to get rich, and follow through. So anyone can share on too. So when I'm creating this language, you'll see my spacing. Sometimes I'll do that, but oops, sorry, when I look at it, I think that HD is better, more legible, closer to the parentheses. Of course, that changes if I comment on YouTube, because especially with hyphens, because I have to put lots of spaces, so it won't put a line through all the letters. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there for now.